What's up, parents? Go Cowboys. We'll see how they do in the playoffs. But in case you didn't know, Coach Pammy's a Cowboys fan. So I got to cheer for the Cowboys. Coach Dragani's a 49ers fan, the 1 and 2 seeds. I want to see what's going to happen this weekend. But gotta ride with my boys. All right. So fact of the day about Coach Pammy. All right. Welcome to the mine. Announcements for not January 1st. That's what I have on my calendar right here. It is January 8th today, Monday, January 8th. These are our announcements. All right. So number one, our weekly schedule is all back to normal after Christmas break. So Southwest, Northwest, I'm looking in those directions because that's where my desk sits. But you guys are back on your normal schedule. Central, you guys are back on your normal schedule. Those that are in little minors, Sara has already reached out to you about one small adjustment we have to make. But other than that, we are back on our normal schedule. Also, high school, we are postponing Friday practices until after the state tournament, which is the third week in February. Okay, I'll make an announcement as we get closer to that. This tournament coming up, the Beehive Brawl. For many of you, this might be your first travel tournament. It is a great travel tournament. I love it for our kids who are going for the first time. It's a great experience. They do a really good job. It's also hosted by the SNWA, which is our governing body down here in Las Vegas, the Southern Nevada Wrestling Association. So we have about 40 kids going to that, and then we have about 20 or so going to P&L in Salt Lake, just up the road from where you guys are going to be. But something that's really important is that you have to bring your printed USA card. Printed USA card. I say this multiple times because I don't know if everybody listens to these, but if you are listening, you're going to Beehive, bring your printed card, bring your printed card, bring your printed card. There we go. I told you. So when I get a text that one of my parents doesn't have a printed card, I can say, hey, I did an announcement. My parents know. So bring a printed card to Beehive this weekend. Make it easier on yourself. Number two, it is hard weight. Okay, so whatever weight you signed up for, your athlete has to make that. We will do weight checks this week and find out what weight each kid is going. As long as you registered them online already, we can check their weight and see where they're at. But they got to make that hard weight. There's no pooled weights like there is at the local tournaments. Okay. There is still a local tournament this weekend. It's called the Bonanza Mash or the Bonanza Bash. I'm not really sure. The thing to know about this is 100% optional because 90% of our coaches will be in Utah because we have athletes from Northwest traveling there. We have athletes from Southwest, from Discover, from all of our programs. The majority of our coaches will be in Utah this weekend. So if you go wrestle at the local tournament this weekend, it will be pretty small, just letting you know that a lot of Las Vegas goes up to Beehive. But if you do, we will have a few coaches, but not very many. Please be ready for that if you do choose to wrestle the local tournaments, and your weigh-ins will be on Wednesday and Thursday per the usual. Satellites Thursday, Central Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, let's move on. Next thing. We are in a business park and I need to keep the peace with all my neighbors. Once a month, the business next door, Portnoy Events, they do a gala and they ask that once a month, we do not park on the south side of the building. So that night is tomorrow night, Tuesday night, January 9th. Do not park on that side. There's going to be stanchions with yellow caution tape. To make it simple, don't park inside the yellow caution tape. Okay. I want to be a good neighbor to them. They're really good people. They're really nice. They've asked us to help them out once a month. I think we can do that. So this is a good night where dropping your kids off and maybe going and grabbing food or running some errands. This is that night. That would be really good. All right. And we will plan to get done around 6:15 on these nights, on Tuesday nights, especially because parents, we don't want you having to sit out in the parking lot. We may end even a little earlier than that. But tomorrow night, please do not park on the south side where the stanchions and the caution tape are. Otherwise, you'll be asked to move. So please do that to help the business. And they do a lot to help us and they're understanding with us. Let's work with them. Reminder, just I said last week, I don't think we had any issues with sportsmanship, but that's something we can always continue to grow in, both as athletes and parents. Let's be good sports in wrestling. We win well, we lose well. Let's be good sports. Let's set good examples and continue that moving forward. Lastly, the second quarter grades, we want to do our all academic team. So if you are Northwest, you are Southwest, you are Central, you are Discover, whatever you are, make sure you go. I will put the information in the chat below, in the comments below, and I will also put in the email today. If you want to nominate your athlete to be part of the Gold Rush academic team for second quarter grades, then you need to fill out the Google form that is going to be in your email and will also be in the comments below. All right. We mine for gold on and off the mat. We want to be diligent people who are growing, developing, and learning on the mat, and we want to grow, develop, learn off the mat. All right. So lastly, I already talked about it. BI Brawl is this weekend. I believe as of this morning, there was 43 spots left. If you feel like registering still, there's still room to do it. You can still make it happen, but you need to register today and you need to make sure you get a hotel. It's a small city. Otherwise, you're going to end up at like Motel 3 or the off-brand hotels that you never even heard of. All right. Whatever, the Happy Inn or all these different hotels. So you don't want to end up at those. So get if you're going to go register, get your hotel, get all that done. Okay. And then lastly, for upcoming events is the state tournament is in March in Fallon. Coach Sergani and Mike McFate have both been continuing to put information together. We will make a hard push on that and get more information out because we want to get everybody registered. We want to get everybody up to Fallon. We want to go up there and have a great experience for the state tournament for folk style, Greco, and freestyle. Plan to wrestle both styles. You're going to start seeing in practice that we will start teaching Greco and freestyle, especially to our kids in Discover at Northwest and Southwest. So we will start making those transitions into Greco and freestyle as well. So plan to wrestle all three styles. It helps your wrestling. All right. It helps you grow. It helps your athlete grow. Wrestling is wrestling. We want to learn all facets of it. Plan to wrestle both days. And that's all I have. So Super Bowl is coming up. Go Cowboys. We will have Super Bowl squares again this year. That's all going towards our nonprofit. All right. And lastly, our nonprofit, we will have that meeting tonight for those at Central at 4:30. We want to explain how we're using that, how we're traveling athletes, how that money is getting allocated, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we've been doing a lot of fundraisers. That's what you're seeing more and more of. So you'll see the Super Bowl squares in which the Cowboys will be a part of. And if they're not, I will expect what they normally do. So, all right, you guys have a great week. This is the Mine. Keep getting the next best place. Mine for gold on and off the mat. Have a great week.